My beloved child. There is something you were never meant to hear this soon. Something that was spoken when your name was not in the room, when no one expected those words to be said, and when a heart quietly revealed what it had been carrying for far longer than anyone realized. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what you are about to hear is not ordinary. It is not a random thought. It is not a passing feeling. It is something deeper. Something that remained hidden beneath silence, uncertainty, and unanswered questions. Your soulmate said something heartfelt about you. And the moment those words were spoken, everything changed. For a long time, you may have wondered whether someone truly understands you. You may have questioned whether your kindness is noticed. Whether your efforts matter. Whether the love you carry inside your heart is visible to anyone. The answer that appeared was unexpected. Because the words that were spoken about you were not focused on what you own, what you look like, or what you have achieved. The words were about who you are. And that is why they matter. Stay till the end. Because the final part of this message reveals something that almost no one sees coming. Your soulmate looked beyond the surface. Beyond the image that people see every day. Beyond the smile you show when everything feels normal. Beyond the strength you display when everyone expects you to be strong. They saw something else. Something rare. Something unforgettable. They saw a heart that keeps going even after disappointment. They saw someone who continues believing even after waiting. They saw someone who gives warmth even when life feels cold. And then they said something that carried extraordinary meaning. They said, "There is something different about this person." Not different in a loud way. Not different in a way that demands attention. Different in a way that creates peace. Different in a way that remains in the mind long after the conversation ends. Have you ever entered a room and changed the atmosphere without saying much? Have you ever encouraged someone without realizing how deeply your words affected them? Have you ever helped someone and forgotten about it while they remembered it for years? That is the kind of difference they were talking about. Do not skip. Because what comes next becomes even more powerful. Your soulmate described you as someone whose presence feels familiar. As if their heart recognized something before their mind could explain it. As if they had been searching for a feeling and somehow found traces of it in you. That realization surprised them. It caught them off guard. Because some connections cannot be explained through logic. Some connections arrive quietly. Some connections begin with a feeling that refuses to disappear. And that feeling stayed. Days passed. Thoughts changed. Life continued moving. But one thing remained constant. You continued appearing in their heart. Not because they forced it. Not because they planned it. But because something about you felt genuine. And genuine things are rare. Something huge is waiting for you. Stay till the end. Because there is another part of their message that carries extraordinary weight. At one moment, while reflecting on everything they felt, they spoke words that revealed the deepest truth of all. They said, "I feel safe when I think about this person. Think about that for a moment. In a world where people often hide their feelings. In a world where trust is difficult. In a world where many hearts become guarded. Safety is one of the greatest gifts someone can feel. And somehow, your presence created that feeling. Not through perfection. Not through trying to impress anyone. But through authenticity. Because authenticity shines brighter than performance. And your soulmate noticed it. More than you realize. There is another reason this message matters. Many people spend years trying to become someone else. Trying to fit expectations. Trying to earn approval. Trying to become what everyone wants. But the words spoken about you were not praising a version you pretended to be. They were praising the real you. The person beneath the expectations. The person beneath the pressure. The person beneath the noise. And that realization created an emotional shift inside them. A shift they could not ignore. Do not skip. Because the next revelation changes everything. At one point, they wondered why thoughts of you kept returning. Why certain memories stayed. Why certain feelings remained. Why your energy seemed impossible to forget. The answer eventually became clear. Because your impact was greater than you knew. Sometimes people change lives through grand gestures. But sometimes they change lives simply by being themselves. You may never fully realize how many people have been encouraged by your strength. How many people have been inspired by your resilience. How many people have been comforted by your kindness. Your soulmate recognized those qualities. And when they spoke about you, their words carried sincerity. Not exaggeration. Not fantasy. Sincerity. That is why this message feels different. That is why this message feels important. Because heartfelt words leave lasting impressions. And the words spoken about you came directly from a place of honesty. Now listen carefully. Because this final section contains the most powerful revelation of all. After everything they reflected on. After everything they observed. After every thought they tried to understand. They arrived at one simple conclusion. They said, "This person deserves something beautiful. Not because life has always been easy for you. Not because every chapter has gone perfectly. But because they saw how much heart you carry. How much hope you preserve. How much light you continue sharing. Even when nobody is watching. Even when nobody applauds. Even when nobody notices. They noticed. And that is what makes this message unforgettable. Stay till the end of this journey. Because this is only the beginning. The next part reveals the words they almost kept hidden forever, words that became impossible for them to hold back any longer. Something huge is waiting for you. A quiet truth is about to be revealed. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what your soulmate said next was not expected. In fact, these were the words they tried to keep hidden for the longest time. They carried these thoughts silently, wondering if they should ever admit them, even to themselves. But eventually, the truth became too powerful to ignore. And when they finally spoke, their words carried a depth that surprised even them. They said, "No matter how busy my day becomes, somehow my thoughts return to this person." Think about that. Out of all the people they could think about, out of all the moments demanding their attention, out of all the distractions surrounding them, your memory continued finding its way back into their heart. Not by force, not by habit, but naturally, as if something within them was gently pulling their attention toward you. Don't skip. Because what happened next became even more surprising. There came a moment when they asked themselves a question. A simple question, but one that changed everything. They wondered, "Why does this person feel so important to me?" The answer did not arrive immediately. Days passed. Thoughts continued. Feelings deepened. And slowly, they began noticing something extraordinary. Every time they imagined a happy future, your presence appeared somewhere inside that picture. Not because they planned it. Not because they expected it. But because their heart naturally placed you there. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this next revelation carries incredible meaning. One evening, while reflecting on everything they felt, they remembered something about you that nobody else seemed to notice. It was not your appearance. It was not your achievements. It was not anything obvious. It was your heart. The way you continue moving forward. The way you continue believing. The way you continue caring. The way you continue giving light even during difficult seasons. And suddenly they realized something. The qualities they admired most were not the things the world usually celebrates. The qualities they admired most were the things that make you truly you. That realization stayed with them. Long after the conversation ended. Long after the day was over. Long after everything became quiet. Because genuine admiration leaves a lasting impression. And that is exactly what happened. Don't skip. Because the next words may surprise you. At one point, they found themselves smiling unexpectedly. Not because someone told a joke. Not because something exciting happened. But because they remembered you. A memory. A conversation. A feeling. A moment. Something simple. Yet powerful enough to change their entire mood. And that is when they understood how deeply you had touched their heart. Without trying. Without forcing anything. Without even knowing. Your presence had become connected to feelings of peace, comfort, and happiness. Something huge is waiting for you. Stay till the end. Because there is another part of this message that few people ever get to hear. Your soulmate admitted something very personal. They admitted that whenever they think about the future, they feel hope. But when thoughts of you enter that future, that hope becomes stronger. Why? Because they see something rare in you. Consistency. Sincerity. Authenticity. The kind of qualities that cannot be purchased. The kind of qualities that cannot be imitated. The kind of qualities that come directly from the heart. And those qualities became impossible for them to ignore. The more they noticed them, the more meaningful you became. The more unforgettable you became. And eventually they spoke words that revealed everything. Words that carried honesty. Words that carried admiration. Words that carried emotion. They said, "There is something beautiful about this person that words cannot fully explain." Think about that for a moment. Not something beautiful they could easily describe. Not something beautiful they could quickly define. Something beautiful beyond explanation. Something they felt more than they could express. And sometimes the strongest feelings are exactly like that. They cannot be measured. They cannot be fully described. They can only be felt. Don't skip. Because we are approaching one of the most important revelations yet. There was a moment when they imagined what life would feel like without your presence. And surprisingly, that thought felt incomplete. Something felt missing. Something felt absent. Something felt unfinished. That realization caught them completely off guard. Because it revealed something they had not fully understood before. It revealed how much space you had quietly occupied inside their heart. Not through dramatic moments. Not through grand gestures. But through countless small moments that slowly became unforgettable. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the final part of this message contains words that changed everything. After all the thinking. After all the reflecting. After all the emotions they tried to understand. Your soulmate finally arrived at a conclusion. A conclusion they could no longer deny. They said, "This person brings something into my life that I never want to lose." And the moment those words were spoken, everything became clearer. Because sometimes the heart understands something long before the mind catches up. Sometimes the heart recognizes value before logic explains it. Sometimes the heart sees a connection before words are able to describe it. And that is exactly what happened. The truth became impossible to hide. The feelings became impossible to ignore. The realization became impossible to forget. But what they revealed next, what they almost never said aloud, what they carried deep within their heart, is even more powerful than everything you have heard so far. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because in the next part, the words your soulmate almost kept secret forever will finally be revealed. An unforgettable confession is finally coming to light. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what your soulmate realized next was so unexpected that even they struggled to put it into words. For a long time, they kept these thoughts hidden. Not because they were uncertain. Not because they were confused. But because some feelings become so meaningful that speaking them aloud feels almost impossible. Yet eventually, silence could no longer contain the truth. And when that truth surfaced, it revealed something remarkable. Your soulmate said, "No matter where life takes me, there is something about this person that stays with me." Think about that. People encounter many faces, many conversations, many memories. Yet only a few remain unforgettable. Only a few continue shining long after the moment has passed. And somehow, you became one of those rare memories. A memory connected to warmth. A memory connected to comfort. A memory connected to something their heart could not explain. Don't skip. Because what happened next carries extraordinary meaning. There came a moment when they reflected on every quality they admired in others. Kindness, patience, strength, hope, compassion. And suddenly they noticed something surprising. Many of those qualities existed in you. Not perfectly. Not dramatically. But genuinely. And genuine qualities leave the deepest impression. That realization changed everything. Because admiration slowly transformed into something far deeper. Something more meaningful. Something that continued growing quietly with every passing day. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next revelation may be the most powerful one yet. One evening, while thinking about you, they imagined what it would be like to tell you everything they felt. Every thought. Every emotion. Every truth. And as they imagined that moment, one sentence appeared in their heart. A sentence they never expected. A sentence they could not ignore. They said, "This person deserves to know how special they truly are." Not because you demand attention. Not because you seek validation. But because you often underestimate your own value. You may not always see your impact. You may not always see your light. You may not always see the difference you make. But they see it. And the more they saw it, the more meaningful you became. Don't skip. Because the next part reveals a thought they almost never admitted. There was a time when they wondered why thoughts of you created such strong emotions. Why your happiness mattered. Why your struggles mattered. Why your future mattered. Why your presence mattered. The answer eventually became clear. Because somewhere along the journey, they stopped thinking of you as just another person. You became someone they genuinely cared about. Someone they sincerely appreciated. Someone they deeply respected. And that realization changed the way they saw everything. Suddenly, your victories felt important. Your dreams felt important. Your smile felt important. Your future felt important. Because you had quietly become important to them. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next words are impossible to forget. At one point, your soulmate described you in a way nobody expected. They said, "There is a light in this person that never fully disappears." What a powerful statement. Think about it. Everyone experiences challenges. Everyone faces difficult seasons. Everyone encounters moments of uncertainty. Yet despite everything, they noticed something remarkable about you. You continue moving forward. You continue believing. You continue hoping. You continue shining. Even when circumstances try to convince you otherwise. That quiet strength inspired them more than you realize. And inspiration creates lasting connections. Don't skip. Because the next revelation becomes even more emotional. Your soulmate admitted that sometimes they imagine hearing your voice. Not because they are lonely. Not because they are searching for answers. But because your presence brings a unique sense of peace. A peace that feels difficult to replace. A peace that feels rare. A peace that feels genuine. And genuine peace is one of the most valuable things a heart can experience. That is why your memory continued returning. Again and again. Without effort. Without planning. Without explanation. Something huge is waiting for you. Stay till the end. Because we are approaching the moment that changes everything. After all the reflections. After all the emotions. After all the truths they finally accepted. Your soulmate arrived at a realization they could no longer ignore. They realized that your presence had become part of their happiest thoughts. Whenever they imagined joy, your memory appeared. Whenever they imagined peace, your memory appeared. Whenever they imagined hope, your memory appeared. And eventually they understood why. Because your energy had become connected to everything beautiful they hoped for. That realization left a permanent mark on their heart. And then came the words that surprised even them. Words they never expected to say. Words they never expected to feel. Words that carried honesty beyond description. They said, "I am grateful that this person exists." Simple words. Yet incredibly powerful. Because gratitude comes from recognizing value. And those words revealed exactly how much value they see in you. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what they finally admitted after saying those words. What they finally understood about their heart. What they finally stopped trying to deny. Is the biggest revelation of all. And in the next part, the message your soulmate has been carrying deep inside their heart will finally be revealed completely.